Hey, this is episode 13 of the Inside Hero's Journey series. This is Rescue from Without. So we're just going to go through what happens at this stage, why it happens, and sort of what the forces at play are doing or not doing, and what happens at the end of this stage. Alright, let's get into it. The hero may have to be brought back from his supernatural adventure by assistance from without. That is to say, the world may have to come and get him. At this stage, a hero might need to be pulled out of the special world by the ordinary world. So, a hero leaves the ordinary world in order to figure out some stuff, in order to self-reflect. And it can be really tempting to not go back, but life catches up to everyone. Now, the ordinary world always wants more and more people to be part of it, and will go out and actively search for people. And if a hero's found and they don't really want to go back, the ordinary world is unpleasantly surprised by this. But if a hero's just delayed in returning, then the ordinary world will essentially stage a rescue mission and pull them out. Now, at this point, there are three important symbols that will usually come up or might come up at this stage. There's the mirror, the sword, and the tree. The mirror. As the hero looks into it, they see themselves as the change, and it symbolizes what the world could be, and that figuring out how to change is actually making change happen. 2 is the sword. It represents the method of change in terms of death and rebirth. And it's the opposite of the thunderbolt, which symbolizes a sudden realization and illumination of the truth. 3 is the tree, and it's the world axis, in the way that it generates new life and therefore new ideas. So, for example, the celebration of the winter solstice, which is the rebirth and return of the sun into day-to-day life. Now, at this point in the story, all of the forces and characters from the special world are still fully functional and operational. They're just doing what they do. Whereas the ordinary world version of the hero has now been completely destroyed. And the special world version of them now has to find a new balance to their life in the ordinary world. Now, in the Magic Flight, a hero comes to the special world as themselves and goes back to the ordinary world as a version of their old self. Whereas with Rescue from Without, the hero has fully gone through the process of apotheosis, they've been through the death and rebirth, and so they come to the special world as their old selves, but they go back as something very different. So, at the end of this stage, the hero just has to cross the threshold and get back to the ordinary world. Doesn't matter how they got there, their job now is to take that lesson or that idea and go back to the ordinary world with it, to show it and teach it to people. Where they will probably face a lot of questions, possibly some resentment from people who don't want them to do what it is they're trying to do, and meet with people who either won't or can't understand what it is they're trying to do. Whether rescued from without, driven from within, or gently carried along by the guiding divinities, he has yet to re-enter with his boon, the long-forgotten atmosphere where men are fractions imagine themselves to be complete.